Hello and welcome back to my channel, Baking with Bob. So what are we doing today? Well, you probably already know because you've seen it in the thumbnail and the title. Yes, we are finally doing the keto version of what I did previously, which was the Millionaire Shortbread. So what are we going to need today? We're going to need quite a few bits for this, and it will take a little bit of time, but this is the fastest version that I know when you're making your own base. Which obviously, being keto, you can't just mush biscuits up, melt them with butter and da-da, you're done, like the non-keto version. So with this one, we actually do need to make a base. So what will we need? We will need some softened butter, about 110 grams or half a cup, quarter cup or 45 grams of powdered sweetener. Now the one I've gone for is, I can never pronounce it properly, ethanol. It is available online. You can buy it. I think mine was from Amazon in a kilo bag, which worked out a hell of a lot cheaper. It's 100% natural. It doesn't affect your glucose levels, and it's really, really good for baking with. So I've used that one. Now, if you pop over to bakingwithbob.co.uk, you will see there's a chart on there which will give you the different amounts. For example, stevia would use less than a quarter cup than the ethanol, etc, etc. So pop over there if you haven't got the same sweetener as I have. You're also going to need 2 cups of almond flour. That's about 150 grams. And then about 30, this is optional, 30 grams of coconut flour. Now, I refuse to pay the extra price for the coconut flour, so I buy the decaffeinated, can't even say that, coconut, so the coconut strands, and I pop them in my NutriBullet blender, whisk them up, and then pull them out. So yeah, 30 grams of that. You're going to want half a teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence or extract. I again have gone for something, sorry, I've got really bad backache today. I've gone for something completely different for my base. I'm going with a sugar-free salted caramel essence instead. So the whole thing will be caramel flavoured. So that's your base, that's just for the base. For your caramel, we're going to need 3 cups of double cream, 3/4 of a cup of the ethanol. I will put the grams down for you as well. 1 tablespoon of cold butter, 5 tablespoons of heavy cream, so the double cream again, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract if desired. That will make our caramel sauce. And then for the chocolate, again, I have shown these before with the sugar-free, no added sugar dark chocolate from, I think it was Whole Foods or somewhere online. I'll put the link in the description. And we're going to want 6 ounces of that sugar. Half a teaspoon of coconut oil is optional. I'm not bothering with the coconut oil. And some flaky sea salt is also optional if you wanted it just for the decoration for the top. That's everything you'll need. Oh, and you'll also need a baking pan. So, you will need a baking pan the size of, let me just check what size I wrote down, 10 by 15 by 2 inch, like this. There we go. Okay, so once you've weighed all your ingredients out, we will be ready. You will need to preheat your oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees centigrade, and I believe that's gas mark 4, but I will put it in the little clouds at the bottom so you can see, and in the description as well. So let's get started with this Keto Millionaire's Caramel Shortbread, which is one of my favourites again. I've got such a sweet tooth that I've been missing all of these kind of sweet treats, and I seem to be not the only one because the people keep messaging me on my Facebook and the Twitter and Instagrams and all of those. I will put links here for all of those, and keep asking me for similar recipes. So that's what we're going to do. Before we move on, I would just like to ask you to press the subscribe button and just to whack that like button and the little bell notification. Reason being, it really does help my channel, and it does show me if you prefer these keto recipes over the non-keto recipes, so what I should do more of in the future. And I'm loving all your feedback on the social medias. Anyway, enough about me, let's crack on. So, in my bowl, I'm just going to move the camera slightly actually because we're at the wrong angle. Okay, so in my bowl I currently have my coconut flour, my almond flour and my baking powder, and then we're also going to want to pop into there the sweetener and the butter. There we go. And then we're also going to want to add the essence, but I'm not going to add the essence until this is combined a bit more. So I'm just going to grab my food mixer and then we're going to combine this together. Okay, now that's a breadcrumby mixture, I'm now going to add my flavouring. So it says to add one, but I like to do a splash extra because I really do love this salted caramel sugar-free essence. Okay, and then in we go one more time. There we go. Once that's combined, it's going to want to be pressed into your tray. Now, my tray is a little bit too big, but we're going to try our best. And you're going to want to spread this nice and thin. As much out as possible. So you've got the clean way with the spoon or the quick way with your hands. Spreading it out as nice and thinly and even if you can. So I just cheated a little bit just to try and see if that would work. Now it did work, I just wished I had something smaller to roll the opposite way. Okay, so as you can see, mine doesn't quite make it to the end and I don't want to go too thin with it. It's just that my tray was slightly too big, so I'll just show you that here. So I've flattened it all out nice and as even as possible, and then we're going to want to pop that into our preheated oven for, so about 20 to 30 minutes until it starts to go nice and golden on the top. So I'm going to pop that in and then I will come back to you for the next step, so give me a moment. Okay, so that has been in the oven for about 25 minutes. As you well know, my oven gets a bit hot so everything comes out a bit brown. It is now complete. So you want to leave this to get to room temperature. Once that's at room temperature, you can start the next step. So I am going to leave this on the side for a good 30 minutes and I will be back to you for starting the caramel. So see you shortly. Hello, welcome back. So my keto shortbread mixture is now cooled on the side. So next it's time for the caramel. So we're going to put 3 cups in. We're also going to want a low heat. So 3 cups of cream. Let's go. There's 1. Okay, 2 cups. And there is the 3rd cup. There we go. So your cream is on a low heat. Next we want 3/4 of a cup of the ethanol. So I'm going to do a 1/2 cup and a 1/4 cup. So there's the half cup and a quarter cup. We are going to want to mix this all in, and you're going to want to heat this until it starts to thicken and darken. So let's just get that nicely mixed in, and then you're going to want to continue to scrape down the sides for this, as well as mixing. If you've got a pastry brush, you can dip that into cream and then use that to get rid of the crystals on the side. And what you want to do is you want to keep this going over a medium heat until it's reduced down to about 1.5 cups, and it's about the colour of commercial caramel. So we'll keep that going. I will speed this up for you so you can watch the difference through the close-up camera. Okay, so now it is the colour that I want. We're going to add a tablespoon of, take it off the heat, or turn the heat off. We're going to add a tablespoon of butter, salted or unsalted, doesn't matter. We're going to add 5 tablespoons of double cream or heavy whipping cream, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, so into there goes the tablespoon of butter and the vanilla extract. Let's just give that a bit of a stir. Oh, the smell is amazing. And then 5 tablespoons of cream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in goes those 5, and stir. And then see how it goes a little bit darker again. Make sure that's all incorporated nicely. It almost looks like a chocolate. There we go. So mine's now all nicely incorporated into there. So what's next? Next is to get the base back. So you've got your base. Your base is nice and cool and set and solid. Okay, and then what we're going to want to do is to pour this mixture over that base. Now obviously mine doesn't fill the tray, but we're going to cover as much as possible without dripping too much of it. Okay. Well, that's another camera just died from overheating. Just want all that lovely gooey goodness out of the pan. There we go. And what I'm going to do with my pan is I am going to fold up the edge to stop that from leaking. Okay, so I have poured all of my mixture on top of my base. That's now going to go into the fridge and set. So pop it in there for at least an hour, make sure that topping is firm, and then we'll get on to decorating with the sugar-free chocolate. So I will see you once the caramel is set. Hi guys, so I am back. So my Keto Caramel has been in the fridge for about an hour. It's nearly set, it's so close, but for the sake of the video, I am going to put my chocolate on now. So you need 170 grams of chocolate. You can add a spoon of oil into that if you want, coconut oil. I'm not going to bother, so I'm going to pop that into the microwave. You want about 150 grams of your chocolate, your unsweetened chocolate, and save the rest back, and then we'll stir that in, which will help temper the chocolate. So I will leave a link in the description for the sugar-free dark chocolate, as I have done before. So in we go, half power, 30 seconds. Okay, so once that chocolate is melted, add in those last few chocolate buttons, chocolate chips, and stir that in. It's a bit dark, I can see that. But just keep stirring. Again, I've used a glass bowl because it will keep its warmth. But just keep stirring that in until it's all melted, and you should end up with a nice shiny chocolate, because adding this the cool chocolate into the melted chocolate helps temper it. Now, tempering chocolate is quite a difficult thing, but there's lots of research online in regards to tempering chocolate. Okay, so we've got our nice smooth chocolate. So it's a really simple task, this one. What we're going to do is we're going to pour this chocolate directly over the caramel. And then, if it's still runny enough, you should be able to hold the pan and let it run into the directions that you want. If not, because obviously it's been chilled, just use the back of the spoon and spread it evenly as you can, all the way over the top till all the caramel is covered. Right into the corners. There we go. And then if you want it to get nice and flat, just give it a bit of a shake. Take the air bubbles out, and then pop that back into the fridge. Once that is set, you can cut that up into your portions, and we're done. Simple as. So I have done a non-keto recipe for caramel shortbread, but with a lotus base. I will leave a link up the top. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to press like or subscribe and the bell icon, all the usual gubbins that you know how to do by now. You can get me on all my social medias, so if you decide, they're going to be there, if you decide to have a go at this yourself, please upload your results. Let me know what you thought to the flavour and how you got on. Any recommendations or requests, again, drop me a message and I'll do my best to get those in for you. And that is it for another week, so I will see you next week. But in the meantime, I will see you next time.